Hello, my name is Amanda Balgobin, and I will be presenting my book report on the book titled Advice for a Successful Career in the Accounting Profession: How to Make Your Assets Greatly Exceed Your Liabilities by Jerry McGinnis. So this slide is just a little bit of an overview about the book. This book is broken into three distinct sections. The first section is titled Navigating Your Route to a Rewarding Accounting Career and focuses on recommendations for accounting students. The second section is titled Growing in Your Early Career Years by Mastering Important Fundamentals and focuses on recommendations for new professionals between 1 to 2 years of experience. The third section is titled Building on Your Success as Your Career Advances, and this section focuses on possible conflicts one might have after establishing your career. In addition, it is important that I highlight that each chapter included a key quote and personal story from the author Jerry McGinnis, relating to the key theme within each chapter. So now I'm just going to go into a little bit of depth within each section. The first section is really just a general discussion of what a career in accounting will look like. Some key takeaways from the section include that accounting is a diverse career filled with a plethora of opportunities. These opportunities include public and private accounting, industry, and academia. This section also discusses the CPA versus non-CPA path. Jerry emphasizes that in his experience, the benefits of the CPA certification have significantly outweighed his costs, such as studying. Also, Jerry recommends that students early in their major join Beta Alpha Psi and network with firms to secure an internship. In section 2, we transition from recommendations for students into recommendations for associates or those just starting their professional journey. Some key takeaways that resonated with me are that accountants must embrace high ethical standards. Jerry specifically emphasized that integrity is crucial in the world of accounting due to the reliance of the public on the work of accountants. This insight aligns with the key theme of the public interest duty of accountants from our course this semester. Jerry also emphasizes that accountants must learn continuously in order to keep up with new regulations and legislation. In addition, although many may think of accounting as simply number crunching, organization and communication are essential as we must collaborate with coworkers on each engagement. Lastly, Jerry discusses the value creation mindset and that in order to be extremely successful, you must ask the question, how can I bring value to my employer every day? Moving on to section 3, which is my favorite, we learn about recommendations for potential conflicts or issues that may arise later throughout your career. The first thing that Jerry discusses is the potential for burnout in this profession. Although burnout can happen in many different professions, Jerry discusses the burnout that can happen in the accounting profession due to consistent overtime that occurs during busy season. He also emphasizes that there are several ways that we can prevent burnout, such as by asking for a variety of different tasks rather than just one single type, making sure that you find work you do valuable and it brings you a sense of satisfaction in your life, and compartmentalizing work and personal life. For example, when you're at work, you're focused on work, and when you're at home, you're not thinking about work and you're focused at home. Another conflict that may arise during your accounting career is, do I stay at my current employer or do I leave? Jerry recommends that although there are several valid personal reasons that someone may leave a job, some do not make this decision effectively and with enough thought. He argues that those deciding to leave their job should think long-term rather than short-term, consult with others, and discuss any concerns with the current employer. Lastly, Jerry recommends giving back throughout your career in accounting. This can be done through several ways, such as by serving as an adjunct professor, attending career days at schools, mentoring, and volunteering. So moving on to what I learned and will implement in my career. This book had a lot of amazing recommendations and insights, so these are just some of the highlights I took note of in my reading. First, I learned that integrity is the backbone of the accounting profession. Although I knew integrity was essential to having a successful career, the way Jerry discussed integrity resonated with me and really allowed me to see things in a new perspective. Next, I learned about the skill of active listening and how we must truly listen to others rather than think about what we are going to say in response to them. I also learned about professional communication and how we must always be polite but persistent to ensure that you are not steamrolled by any clients or coworkers. I also learned that I must be adaptive and accepting of general and technological changes throughout my career. Jerry also discussed how grit and perseverance in this profession will take you far. One story included in this book was about how Jerry was up for promotion for partner for 3 years in a row, but he was denied the first two due to his lack of a business case, essentially meaning that they already had enough partners and they didn't have capacity for another. He stated that he was persistent and waited until he was accepted in the 3rd year, without giving up. Lastly, I learned about the importance of relationships in accounting and how they can be mutually beneficial. These include client relationships, coworkers, and even alumni associations. So would I recommend this book to others? I think for sure. I really think that this book is best if you read it as soon as possible. If you're thinking about going into accounting, choosing a major in college, I really wish that I had read this book before my internships and as an early accounting major, just because I feel like it would have given me a bit more perspective of the accounting industry, but I learned a lot of that on the job during my internships. Also, I feel like this really provided immense value to me. These are a lot of lessons and recommendations that I will take forward in my career, and I wouldn't have known unless I had read this book. So, thank you so much for listening to this presentation, and I hope you have a great day.